Hi everyone and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit different in the way that I'm going to be trying out new brushes rather than new makeup. So Makeup Revolution have recently brought out their take on the artiste brushes, which are the brushes that look like toothbrushes that have been out for quite a while now. Artiste brushes were the first people to bring them out, unboxed like this, and they look really professional. I really like that they're rose gold and then the bristles are brown. I've got the set of 8, which is the full set, but you can also buy the face set and the eye set separately. Now the full set originally is about £63 I think, and I paid 40. They were reduced. I'll link them down below so that you can go and check them out, but they were reasonable. They were I bought them straight off the Makeup Revolution website, which is now Tan Beauty, and I'm going to give them a go. I don't really know what to expect, and I'm using makeup with them that I'm used to using, so I'm not going to be trying anything new today because I think that will just throw me even more. So I've just unpacked them all, and on first impressions they feel really nice. The bristles themselves are really soft. So this is an example of one of the brushes. This is a large oval face brush, and up close on the back and also the front side of the brush you've got the Makeup Revolution logo. It's rose gold and they feel quite sturdy. I imagine that eventually this bit would go here, but I really like how the bristles go a different colour. They're very, very soft, and I think that they're going to be really good. I'm kind of got high hopes. The theory behind these brushes is that they're a better way of applying makeup. It's more of a natural and expert way to apply makeup using brushes, and because they are so dense, hopefully they're not going to pick up and soak in as much product. It will apply it onto the face rather than soaking it into the brush, which other ones could do that aren't as dense. This one is the oval face brush, and I'm going to use this one today for foundation. It's just that little bit smaller. Then we have this brush, which I'm going to use for concealer. So then we have this one, which is called the oval shape brush, which I'm going to use for concealer, and then this one, which is a little bit bigger in size, and I'm going to use this one for my bronze, for my highlight and my blusher even. This one that's a little bit bigger. So I'm quickly just going to pop on some of my in transit camera close-up, which is a moisturiser that I like to use when I don't have time to pop on moisturiser and primer in one. So it kind of does a few jobs in one. I've spoken about it loads before. For foundation today, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Oil Free Photo Edition foundation. I wear the shade Cream Ivory, and I'm using this because I know it's a full coverage foundation. I'm used to using it, and I just thought I'd use it today for the first time with these brushes. I'm going to pop it on the back of my hand like I usually would, because that's how I would usually apply it. It just feels wrong to me to apply it straight to the brush. So I'm going to pick some up on the brush and then apply it to my face. So this feels a little strange. I can feel that the actual hand of the brush is kind of moving around a little bit. Okay, it's definitely going to give you high coverage, this brush. You can see that already how much has just gone on there, and I picked up quite a small amount of foundation. It just feels so weird. The top bit I can feel is moving around a little bit. It doesn't feel too stable. If you can see, I'm pushing it there, which would scare me a little bit that it's going to snap. I feel like this foundation is a little bit light for the colour of my neck and chest at the moment, seems as I've been on holiday, but we're just going to work with it for today. It seems to work better if I just kind of brush it on. I'm not sure if there is a particular technique. It's definitely a quick way of getting on foundation. I kind of feel like where I'm applying the foundation, I'm also pulling it off because I'm tugging so much, which is why I want to swipe it on like this rather than rotate the brush. I've just quickly done my eyebrow. I'm going to go on to concealer next because that's normally what I would do next. And today I've got the Maybelline Eraser Eye, which I haven't used in a really long time. So this is the brush I'm going to use for this. It's a little bit smaller. This, because it's a little bit smaller, it feels easier to do circular motions, which is nice, and I feel like it's really getting in there. It blends in so quickly and so easily that I can definitely imagine fitting this brush into my everyday makeup routine. Definitely. Really, really nice for under eye concealer. I think it just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of getting used to, because it's a technique that we're not really used to. Now let's set that all in place with the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Powder, and this is the bigger face brush. So I'm going to just swish this in my powder. It seems to have picked up a nice amount. What I really like about this brush for powder is that I really like using a dense brush when it comes to powder, because I like to press it into the skin to make sure that it's actually setting my foundation. I'm not sure whether I would use something like this on a regular basis to set powder. Now I'm going to go on to bronzer, which I would usually do eyes first, but since I'm using all the face brushes, I'm going to just carry on. So I've got my MAC Mineralize in medium dark today to use as my bronzer, and I'm going to use the same brush that I use for powder just to bronze up the face. I'm not going to contour, even though I think this brush or even the smaller one would be really nice for contour, but I'm not going to be that brave and use that for contour today. I'm just going to use this big one to bronze up my face. I'm a little bit nervous with this because I feel like it picks up a lot of product, and it's like, how am I supposed to blend this? I don't know. It feels like I'm just kind of wiping the product on my face and taking off the foundation. I feel like I will much prefer using these for cream products. Like, I feel like there where I just did that, it's pulled off the foundation underneath, even though I've set it. And I'm using a very light hand. This didn't feel that easy with bronzer. I would not swap what I currently use to apply bronzer for one of these brushes on first use. Blusher, I've got Benefit Dallas, and I'm going to use this tiny little brush here, which was the oval cheek brush. And again, I feel like this is going to go the same way as that bronzer brush. I don't have too high hopes because it's just, there's no movement to the bristles. That's just not, just doesn't feel a natural way to apply blusher, and I now have so much on that cheek. So far, definitely prefer for cream products and not powder. I'm going to use the same brush for highlight and just see how we get on. I've got the Mary Luminizer by the Balm. This is quite a chunky brush, and I don't want to apply too much highlight. I think I'm just going to take it on its side. And move on to the eyeshadow brushes. So I have no idea what these are going to be like. This is the oval flat eye brush I'm going to use to apply my cream base. I'm going to dip it into my MAC Painterly and apply this on my eyelids. And I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Can you see how it's taking it away when I'm going over it? Like, it's applied it, but I feel like I need to do this with my finger. The next brush that I'm going to try is this one, which is more of a domed brush, and this one says that it's perfect for application of eyeshadows. That's definitely more of an even application than the other brush gave with the Painterly Paint Pot. It's done quite a nice job though, if I'm honest. Like, it's definitely applied it evenly, and that was really, really quick. Maybe if I was in a hurry, I'd pick up this brush. I am actually quite impressed with this brush. I'm going to take this one, which says it's perfect for blending out eyeshadow, and I'm going to take just a warm brown chocolatey colour on the brush and just blend out the edges. Now, this is the one that I thought that I would use the most of the eye brushes because it did look like it was a nice blender brush. When I've seen videos like this before, this shape of brush always seems to work the best. That has actually blended out that eyeshadow very quickly and very evenly. I'm just applying, you kind of have to change your technique completely, and I'm just applying a tiny little bit to the top, just above the crease of my eye, just to blend that out. I'll list all the brushes that I used in the order that I'm using them down below, just to make it a little bit easier for you all. But this one is probably one of my favourites so far. And then the last one that I've got to try is an eyeliner brush. Imagine you could use this against the lash line, but it's not actually that thin. So what I'm going to use this for instead is underneath my eye, going underneath to blend out my eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that chocolatey brown colour that I used to blend out Grandstand just underneath my eye It's actually worked quite nice. It goes on a lot thinner than you'd expect because the brush does seem quite chunky. This feels so weird. Quickly try taking a darker colour and using it on my lash line and see what it takes like. So I've just got a bit of a darker brown and I'm just going to smudge that on the top of my lash line. See there, it looks quite thick. I don't think you could use this for eyeliner at all. The bristles are just too separated. It's not thin enough. Okay, so now that my makeup is done, I've taken my hair down and I'm going to give you my last few thoughts on what I thought of the brushes and whether I think it's worth investing in them. I definitely wouldn't do what I did and buy the full set. I obviously did that for review purposes, so I can test them all on camera for you and let you all know what I think. But I think that it's definitely better, because there's such a new technique, if you're not used to using brushes like that, it's better to buy just a couple, maybe just one at once, and see how you get on. I would definitely say that you have to be careful with applying foundation with the brushes, because I did feel like it took quite a lot of product off as it was applying it, if that makes sense, because I don't know whether I was too heavy-handed or whether I was just using the wrong technique, but it didn't seem to go on that well, even though once it all was on, it was very quick to do. The standouts for me were the smaller ones, and I'm quite surprised by that because I was really excited to use the bigger ones for foundation, but I really wasn't that blown away. I'm going to keep on using them and I'm going to write a blog post on them to update you on what I think after I've used them a few times. I'm definitely glad that I bought some cheaper ones before I went in and spent a lot of money on the more expensive ones, because I do kind of feel like I would go towards my normal brushes a lot more than using these ones. So hopefully you've enjoyed this review, and leave me a comment down below if you've tried these brushes before, from any brand. Let me know what you think, and I will see you all with my next video very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.